Hello there, I'm Robin and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about who should be the number one candidate for Man United striker heading into summer 2025. So, there's two real options that we can talk about. Number one is Hugo Ekitike. Number two is Victor Osimhen. Simple as that. Now, when we talk about Hugo Ekitike, I've not watched much of Ekitike, just like you guys. Ever since we've been linked to Ekitike, I've just watched a few compilations, read up a little bit about who he is. And the more you explore Ekitike, you understand that he has the lanky build and the positioning and the running of Isaac, and he has the technical ability of Joshua Zirkzee. So essentially, we're getting a fusion of Isaac and Zirkzee. But the big question remains, in a pace and power league, can he adapt? The more I've seen Hugo Ekitike, the more I understand he might not be a Premier League player in your traditional sense. Can he succeed in the Premier League? Yes, but it would definitely take him time, much like Joshua Zirkzee. Because the only difference with Zirkzee and him is he probably has a little bit more pace and he makes runs in behind, which is something we lack with Zirkzee, but maybe Ekitike can make that up. But what Zirkzee and Isaac have that I feel Ekitike does not have is raw strength. So, when defenders are bundling into him, will he bundle also or will he get past the defenders? We'll never know that till he's in this league. Because yes, you can argue he played in the French league, but did he succeed in the French league? For whatever reason, he hasn't. And when he goes back to the Bundesliga now, he's again succeeding. But you have to think, is the Bundesliga as physical as the Premier League or the French league? No, it isn't. So the more you think about Hugo Ekitike, as much as he's a good player, is he suited to the Premier League? Because regardless of what everybody thinks, even if he is a good player, we have to look at Premier League proven players or players who are built to play in the Premier League. Because this league is so different to La Liga, to Bundesliga, to the Serie A. If you watch those leagues, they're still technical. They actually play good football. But if you talk about the Premier League, it's just about pace, intensity and power. And in a league about pace, intensity, power, technical players unfortunately drown. And if you do not want to see that, I would say we go down the second route, which is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, I'm pretty sure that none of you are stranger to him. We know what Osimhen's all about. He will score you goals. He will guarantee you goals. Maybe not 20 a Premier League season, but at least a good number. But the thing with Osimhen is that when he plays in the Premier League, he should understand that he will not get the time he got in the French league. He will not get the time he got in Serie A. He will not get the time he got in the Turkish league. What do I mean by time? I don't mean time from the fans. I don't mean time to adapt. I'm talking about, in a pressure situation, the amount of time he has with the ball. So, whenever I used to watch Victor Osimhen comps in the past, the one thing that always stood out to me was how out of touch his first touch was. So, when he takes his first touch, the ball goes well far beyond his range of control. So, to the point, he always relies on his pace to get to the ball instead of it actually being his first touch quality. So you know how players like Isaac and Watkins, Mateta, they can cushion the ball and instantly take it away from the defender so that now they're attacking and either they service their wingers or they go in on themselves. But the thing with Osimhen is he can do the running part. But the problem is, does he have the technical ability to take the ball down and to rotate around the defender, to spin the defender and go on his way or service the wingers? Which, if you think about it, the Serie A has a lot more time. You can have a lot more time on the ball. And the more you look at it, can he really spin a defender and can he get away? It doesn't look likely. Because watch any Osimhen comp and the next time you watch it, forget his goals, forget the assists. Just look at his positioning, look at his first touch, look how far the ball goes away from him every single time he takes a first touch. And you realize the ball is way too far. And if the ball is way too far, you look at teams like Bournemouth, you look at teams like Newcastle, Forest, Brighton, they're going to ultimately press you, get the ball from you in an instant, and then they are on a breakaway. And now we lost the ball where we could have actually created something. Having said all this, we must also acknowledge that Osimhen gets goals, which is a thing that we are struggling with. Physicality itself, I don't think Osimhen struggles with. Heading is not something Osimhen really struggles with. Positioning, it's a 50-50, but ultimately, does he guarantee you goals? Yes, he does. If you give him service, does that guarantee you goals? Yes, he does. So now, given these two kind of players, you have to really look at what Amorim does. And the more I see the players that are playing around, you can see Kobe will probably be back in the team. You'll probably see Ahmad back in the team. Dorgu is already in the team. With Joshua Zirkzee, it remains to be seen if he sticks with him, because once Mason Mount is back, who's one of his favourites, we don't know if Mason Mount might actually start over Joshua Zirkzee. So regardless, let's assume that Dorgu, Zirkzee, Mino and Ahmad play. If these four are playing, you can see one common theme with all four. As much as they may be forward-going players, they're all creative outlets. When you have four creative outlets, as much as you'd love your number 9 to be a technical player who can still service the ball, and now you're playing tippy-tappy football, which is good, you might just need a goal scorer. So you have Dorgu servicing, you have Ahmad servicing, you have Zirkzee, you have Mino, you have whoever else the midfielders are in the summer. All these players will be servicing that one striker. And if they're servicing the striker, you need your striker to be a gunman. So over there, as much as I would love to see Ekitike here, I would not be opposed to seeing Ekitike here, by the way. But if I was to pick one player for that number 9 role, I would have to pick Victor Osimhen. Just because he's a gunman, because he will get us goals. Because for this system, unfortunately, football has become a system game. And now you have to look at the system. Amorim would love Osimhen. I'm pretty much sure that we would love Osimhen as well. So I would say the club have to go and get either Osimhen, or if not Osimhen, we can also go and get Mateta, depending on the price range. We can go get Jean-Philippe Mateta, who can fill in the same exact role. He is physical and he has played in the Premier League, most importantly. Crystal Palace is scoring a decent number of goals. Now you give him more service. You give him service of quality with Dorgu, Ahmad, Zirkzee, Mino, Bruno, whoever it may be. And now suddenly Mateta is scoring way more goals because now he knows how the league works. And he's a physical player and his finishing is not bad. So ultimately, at the end of the video, we have one profile that we want to go for. We probably want to go for a pace and power kind of profile, as much as you may or may not like it. In there, Victor Osimhen and Mateta come out as the top 2 targets. You can even consider players like Liam Delap. But ultimately, for this system, you want Osimhen or Mateta. It's your pick. I want you guys to comment down below who you would pick between Osimhen and Mateta for our number 9 role. And see you all in the next one.